Hey, get inspired, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Life Inspired. You can watch our program right here on YouTube, Facebook, or on our inspiredhomes.com page. And so we just thank you so much for liking and sharing and following and subscribing to the YouTube channel. You can share this story with anybody that you think it's going to meet and minister to. And we are so excited today. Our guest is Kristine Kuroski. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so if you guys have seen before, we have had Kristine on our show before because she's got a great organization called Angels in the Attic. And I do want to remember at the end of the show to ask about how we can bless.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, but we have a little Evelyn in the tummy now.
I know.
And so that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. If you've never tuned in before, guys, we do basically 3 questions. You know, life was going along, just life, and there's a ... moment where God changed the trajectory of your life in some way and a turning point, and then now you're walking inspired. So there's usually lots of turning points in people's lives, and we've had this new one, and you had some things you wanted to share. So tell us a little bit about the backstory to, you know, just Evelyn and your life and all of that. So what are you going to share with us today?
Sure. So I was really excited. I've been praying about what God wanted to talk about. Like you said, there's so many different points in life where he just shows up and it's like, okay, something big is changing, right?
Oh, here you go.
But he just really pressed upon me the journey of fertility and trying to conceive. I have a almost 20-year-old, and then my youngest right now is 14. So in the last 9 years, at the beginning of those 9 years, you know, we did try fertility drugs to conceive again because I had some medical issues that was making it more complicated, and we miscarried from that. And we kind of put that to the side, and life got busy, went on, kept it moving. A couple years ago, I conceived again, not trying, just on accident. But as soon as we found out we were pregnant, that was a miscarriage also. So just grieving and understanding, like in the last 9 years, God gave me the 2 children I have, and I've been fortunate. I fostered 3 other kids that are in their 20s now. They're having kids themselves. And I was like, okay, it looks different, you know, and just accepting where I thought God was saying no or not right now. But to me, it felt like a no, you know. And so I was just kind of upset because I just thought life looked different, right? And so you keep moving along, you do the next thing, but it's always in the back of your mind, like why that couldn't be for you. And about a year ago, I was coming back from Mayo Clinic and talking to a specialist here, and we decided a hysterectomy would be best for some of the health conditions I have that were also the ones that were keeping me from getting pregnant, endometriosis and PCOS. And so we were waiting for insurance to approve that. I'm on vacation this past July, and they called and they said, hey, we think we found a loophole with insurance. Come on in Wednesday and we'll set up an appointment to really talk about getting this hysterectomy and getting some of these issues under control. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's great, right?
Right.
So I'm going in, and I get there, and I had done some preliminary blood work. And when the nurse walked in, she's like, you're pregnant.
You're like, what?
What? I'm 38 now. Like, Tristan's 5 years away from graduating high school, and I'm thinking about what I want to do with my life, being empty nest, and I was like, okay, time out. Like, we're
okay,
pregnant.
God, what are you talking about?
I was like, you have a mistake. I can't get pregnant. Like, I can't, you know. And she was like, oh, no, you're pregnant. She's like, doctor will be in a few. And they were all excited, like, medically speaking. Evelyn, that's her name. We call her Abby, had less than a 3% chance of growing where she was supposed to be and making it out of the first 12 weeks. And
you're 4.5 months along now?
So 5.5 months.
5.5 months.
Yeah, we're getting there. So while they were waiting to set up our ultrasound, we thought we were actually miscarrying. We went to the hospital, and it was very similar to previous. They come in with the ultrasound, and I thought, okay, we'll see a baby that's not moving, a decreased heart rate below 120 or nothing. But she rolled over and waved at the screen. So cool. Her heart rate was 147, nice and strong. And the text like, I don't ever get good news to share like this. She's like, she's fine. So the doctors called it a threatened miscarriage. We've had a few more ultrasounds and doctor visits than normal because I'm technically high risk. But she's doing great. She's developing where she's supposed to be. Everything's looking healthy. We did a DNA chromosome test, and she's looking fabulous. So,
and you thought she was a boy before
I did.
You did the DNA test, right?
Yeah, we thought she was a boy for like the first 4 months. So we're getting blessed with like all these boys things, which was so funny because we hadn't really told anyone what we thought. Just a lot of people were like, hey,
I have
these things. You know, do you want this for the baby? I think it's a boy. And I was like, oh, that'd be lovely. And then we found out she's a girl.
So there's got to be a boy coming from somewhere. A friend of yours is going to get unexpectedly pregnant with a boy, or you wouldn't have all those gifts.
It's been awesome. That's where the ministry ties in. So Angels in the Attic, the ministry that helps other women and children leaving abusive situations. Literally, as soon as I found out I was having a girl, 2 weeks later, I got 3 moms. 2 that have a boy on the way, and 1 that just had a boy. And so I was able to take all those donations and bless 3 families.
Wow.
So I was like, God, you just had it all worked out.
Yep.
Like, it's so amazing how he always is on time and he just works. So right now, I just feel like at this moment in life, like this isn't what I expected at this age, but I was so excited because I'm thinking, wow, God, you have to have like such a miraculous calling on this little girl's life, and what an honor that you've chosen, us to be her parents and me to be her mom, and the kids to have a sibling. And I'm just so excited to see what's in store and everything that's going on. So I mean, she's already beating all odds, so it's super exciting.
Yeah. So we'll be praying. You guys, a lot of you guys that support us in prayer, we want to be praying for Kristine and for Evelyn.
Yeah.
Evelyn. And then, so also because a lot of our viewers are prayer partners of ours, and they do pray for you. Can you tell just a little bit? They may not have watched, your other episode was like a year ago, right? So they may not have seen your other episode. So can you tell us just a teeny bit about what Angels in the Attic does?
Yep.
So Kristine had been in abusive relationships in the past, and if you want to go find the old one, the YouTube channel doesn't have all the way back that all the Facebook ones are, because the quality is not the same and they don't transfer well. But if you want to find it, you do have to go through Facebook and find Kristine's old one. But you can go find that on our Inspired Homes Facebook page, and you can go find her old story. So so because of your past, you started Angels in the Attic to minister to women who need to get out of abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
So that was definitely another point in time where God just stepped in. After being in an abusive relationship for 9 years, I always felt like one of the big reasons I went back was financial burden. And so when I left in 2010, I thought, wow, I know a lot of people who have and a lot of people who don't, and them crossing paths, and what a unique position to be. I call it like the God connector, right? Where I can just kind of sync up those who have to those who are in need and walk with them and just share the love of Jesus, that there's nothing we can do that he would ever turn away from us. We're worthy of his love and always have his love. We're keeping ourselves from that, right?
Right.
So I just try to share my story and my testimony to encourage and strengthen other women to be able to leave and stay gone. And Angels in the Attic we'll be 7 this January. So that's crazy. Yeah.
7 years old in January.
We've got our 501c3, so we're a nonprofit. And we help with gently used items like dish towels, bedding, dishes. If you're using it at your house, good chance when they're moving into their new house, they're using it too.
Yeah.
And then financial assistance, we try to pay directly to like landlords or utilities to help them if they're short to get things turned on, gas to look for a job, turning a phone on to be able to receive a job phone call, things like that. So
and you don't ever give them money directly to the girls, right? Because you don't know what they might use it for. But you pay their landlords, or you pay their utility bills, or you buy them a gas card.
Yep.
Correct.
And we work closely with a couple apartment communities and some property managers that we can refer to that are a little bit easier to work with. But we always pay directly to the need, not to the person.
Right.
And that's just safety precautions. We're not saying there's people out there that do, but I don't know, and I don't want to be in the position where I have to judge. That's God's job.
Right.
We just want to love and help as much as we can, so we always try to make sure that payment's going where the need's specified.
Right. So as we get into the Thanksgiving season, and you guys have so much to be thankful for, and we have so much to be thankful for, there's people that don't.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to contribute, you can message us right here on YouTube, Facebook, or InspiredHomes.com. Message us. us will get word to Kristine. They need prayer support. If that's all you can do, that is the best thing you can do. So we would love that.
Awesome.
So pray for them. And they do need financial support. So if you're not in a position to, because you don't have things to give, right, but you have money and you want somewhere to contribute, Angels in the Attic does take cash. Well, checks and whatever's
best,
right? And then things. So like if you're just cleaning out and you give things to, say, Goodwill or Salvation Army or one of those places, Angels in the Attic will take those kinds of things as well. And you guys come pick it up, right? Don't you make
we can come pick it up, no problem. So, and we're going into our Christmas season where I would say like 80 to 85% of the families we've helped throughout the year, they have a job, but they're still struggling. So we just really want to bless them this Christmas, let them know that they're loved and helping replace their needs. I won't say wants, because most of our families aren't asking for the newest Xbox or an Xbox game. They're asking for a new backpack or lunchbox, a pair of shoes because their child's getting made fun of at school and they can't fill that need. Those are the things we're seeing on the Christmas list. So if someone's out there and God's laying on your heart that you're looking for a family or a child to adopt this Christmas and you want to make sure it stays local and goes to someone who's really in need, we would love that support too.
That's awesome. Yay. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you guys for watching, and share this with anybody that you think needs to hear or maybe would be interested in the ministry. So you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.